I'm rolling.
I want to welcome everyone to Transfinder headquarters here at 440 State Street, downtown Schenectady. Exciting day today. We're officially kicking off our project with the city of Schenectady with our software and our services and really our hardware units. So we're excited to have the mayor here also present. Excited to see all the paper that you guys are keeping and maintaining, of course. And our job is to make sure that we take everything in these binders and these huge paper maps and get them on a map, so that way we could then start seeing those big things, such as safety aspects. As the vehicles are traversing the streets, we want to make sure that everyone is safe, not just the drivers, but also the citizens. We want to look at historical information on what's going on with the traffic patterns. Well, could we make some tweaks that way we're not affecting traffic as much? The next big element, of course, is service. We want to make sure that we deliver the best service to our citizen, and whether we could be quicker response, we could respond to issues much quicker, whether it's for waste collection or snow plows. We want to make sure that our citizens know how long has been since the snow plow has been down my street, and also if they want to know what's going on with my routes with the trash collection, right? And the safety savings is our last element, that we believe a product like this implemented in the city of Schenectady should pay for itself within 12 months of implementing. So we expect to have that as a minimum, but we believe we could do more. And of course, it's a partnership. So as this partnership gets stronger and we really understand what each one's our needs, we think we could do much better job on the savings than just pay for itself in the first 12 months. There'll be a lot of interaction. The great thing about this is that we really are really close. If you could see, City Hall is right there, and that's what's excellent about this partnership, is that we could go up and down really on J Street is what connects us. And so there's gonna be a lot of back and forth, and this is where we're gonna have a huge home run on this type of service. And so again, we want to thank you for the opportunity for giving us.
And it's really a great day for Schenectady, and so pleased that we've been able to forge this partnership and formalize our relationship with Transfinder and Antonio and his team. And this isn't being done just in a vacuum. Schenectady was one of the leaders in terms of recording data from police and fire. We've been doing that since really the late 90s. We are in a partnership with Troy, Schenectady, Amsterdam, and Gloversville in terms of code enforcement data. And I want to emphasize that we're looking not to do any of these separately or independently, but they're an integrated process. And why it's so exciting to have Transfinder coming on board now, where we're going from this type of deployment system, an old hard copy map that's color-coded, to an interactive profile that will allow real-time information to be exchanged from managers and to better utilize the resources that are paid for by our taxpayers, in that we deliver the services that are expected at a high level of satisfaction by the end customers, who are the residents and people who visit our city every day. And so turn over to Antonio to show how we kind of go from this to some of the exciting things that we're looking to do.
Well, thank you, Mr. Mayor. The important thing here, of course, is we need a starting point. So a starting point is what the city is doing so far. So our staff is going to be implementing and really taking the map information that's been on paper and color coded, which is very good quality, but it's manual. So the whole concept is, the first phase is we're going to take what's on a piece of paper and then bring it to our product. But then the type of things that the city will be able to do with that data is really to start analyzing at any given time on what's the plan, right? So you could see the plan at a certain time at 7:20 a.m. These are where the vehicles are supposed to be at, right? And you could really drill down even closer, seeing, well, what happens if we make some tweaks, start changing things around? Again, make sure that the safety aspect is highly considered. The savings is always going to be a byproduct, but the service, how can we just make sure that the citizens on those streets are notified quicker, especially if there's a change, whether it's a snow route or maybe there's a change in trash collection. It happens. Someone could just have much bigger, much more to be collected that day, and it could affect other routes. So these are the type of things that we should be able to be much quicker and respond to these needs.
And again, with the city, a lot of times now we have people, including myself, who make decisions with partial information, where you only have the information from the police department, or you only have the information from code enforcement, or you only have it from the Bureau of Service, where it's dealing with street repair, garbage collection, or snow plowing. This will allow the overlay of that data, the integration of that information, so that we are making the appropriate decisions with all the information, so that we're making the correct decision when it's made and getting the best outcome for the residents of this city.
Great. And some things that what the mayor is talking about is that overlaying information, they'll be able to say, in these these regions here, what if they already know information about whether it's crime or historical traffic and so forth. Well, they could now hone in really an area to say, how can we change that without necessarily just affecting the entire city? Well, maybe we start with just small little pockets and see how we could improve the efficiency factor in a small area. And then we start rolling this out. Again, this is the kind of partnership that we're going to go back and forth and saying, what is the lowest hanging fruit we could start with initially and then keep expanding.
Exactly. Where it will really move hopefully to a platform where the integration of this data and the utilization of it to make management decisions will set Schenectady apart and really be an example for other communities across the state and across the country.
Anything else we want to talk about?
It's an exciting day, and we look forward to
Interaction.
Do you want to do some interaction?
Will this be implemented with the police at all, or is this just for services? City
well,
services?
we have GPS on the police cars now, and we have this data, which give you some of it. We have some of that in place now. We may look to make this more sophisticated, but the focus with Transfinder will be the Bureau of Service, so it's garbage collection, snow plowing, when we're repairing streets, filling potholes, and then the vehicle analytics that will be placed on what are very expensive pieces of equipment, where we're paying $100,000, almost up to $200,000 for some of our trucks. We want to make sure that they're running properly, they're the most efficient, and to be able to diagnose problems early on so that you don't have a catastrophic event where a transmission fails, an engine blows, and you have a major piece of equipment that is sitting on the roadside where it's got to be towed. With the systems that we're putting in place, it will allow the detection of those potential problems earlier and scheduling the repairs in a manner that will be more efficient and will take some of the randomness out of it and the sense of urgency that occurs in some cases today.
Because you're going to put the vehicle history in the computer and tell
Correct,
them
because they'll be
how many
on-
miles it was going. Hey,
But
this
we
is
also
right.
have real-time information, such as if the battery is low. You don't really know if battery is low during the summertime, because it's, the vehicle will start. But as the cooler weather is coming, well, a low battery your vehicle might not start. Well, remember, this is mission critical. We really have to have as many vehicles in service as possible. Out of service is really a bad thing. So vehicle has to be constantly in service. Especially, how can we really respond to the citizens' demand if there's a huge percentage of vehicle that unfortunately, the big first snowfall, a lot of vehicles are now starting for some various reason. Well, those are important things that we want to make sure that vehicles information is analyzed really on a second by second.
So when will the software be implemented, and then when will you see savings on the cities?
We're looking to implement in the next 45 days, give or take a little bit. And again, it's a dynamic process, so we expect to see some initial savings and continued exponential savings as we go farther down the road.
Is this something that the city buys, or do they control it here, or do you buy like a software and then know how to do it? You have to
We're
train
putting
you, you buy it.
equipment on from Zonar,
Yeah.
which we're purchasing, which will go on each vehicle.
Oh, each vehicle, okay.
And then Transfinder provides the software to manage that. And again, I want to emphasize is it's a dynamic process, so that the software that's in place today won't be the software that's in place in 24 months and 36 months. It will be evolutionary, and I'll even use the term revolutionary in terms of
It'll get better.
how we're going to be able to track these things and integrate the decision-making into the available data.
And how many vehicles will the Zonar be?
68 or 72?
72 is what we're looking at for the initial, which would be full, all of our OGS vehicles.
That may vary a couple of vehicles, only because of, we may take some out of the fleet at the end of the year, depending what the capital budget is, so we won't put the equipment in, we'll wait for the new vehicles to come in, but it's gonna be approximately 7.
Okay.
This a one-time thing, or is this an annual?
There's a one-time fee for the Zonar equipment,
Right.
which we are amortizing over a 3-year period. And then the relationship with Transfinder, again, is there's an annual fee with that,
Software.
which Transfinder has really substantially discounted as part of the
So you
dynamic
guys do this in other
process.
communities too, obviously.
We do, our biggest client base are now, we're doing communities with the school districts. So our big thing is routing with school busing. So we know communities, we know how vehicles impact traffic, and really, those are things we know very well.
But this is to expand some of their product line also into municipal services, where their primary focus has been the education component in school
I
districts.
see, now I get into that. I
It's
see.
a good opportunity for us to really expand to different markets and really learn in our backyard what it takes to be very successful in this market.
Do you know what the Zonar price is over the 3 years and then the Transfinder annual?
We've given that to you before, but we can confirm those numbers.
Yeah, we'll get that to you.
Because the paperwork I got from council didn't include the Zonar, so.
Okay.
Good, I guess I could talk to somebody on camera, I didn't need to have to go like this now, just real close, talk to somebody one-on-one.
Antonio's more photogenic.
That sounds good.